and subscribe, and this is going to be the NJE Vlogs. And today I'm going to be talking about my birth, labor and delivery. Oh, she's not in the mood. But as y'all know, I got pregnant at 18. She was born May 16, 2019. So whenever I found out I was pregnant, it was August 25th from 2018. Remember, I just turned 18 in June from that 2018. So I got pregnant I found out August 22. So that being said, so my first appointment was October 4th, 2018, and I was 8 weeks already. 8 weeks and 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. Okay. I was 8 weeks and 4 days. The first problem that I had was a sign of miscarriage at 9 weeks and I think it was 2 days. I did went to the ER, but they said they couldn't do anything because they don't have anything to stop the bleeding. If the baby wants to come out, it has to come out. The only thing you have to do is make an appointment with your OB and to keep checking up on you. By this time I was at one clinic. I'm not gonna say names or anything, but I did call. They never answered. They weren't doing their job. I went there and I was like, I was having bleeding, this and this happened. They didn't seem to be in, like, I don't know how to explain it. They didn't seem so interested, like, to be like, oh, we gotta help, we gotta keep an eye on her. No. I told my mom and my boyfriend by that time, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna go next appointment with you to see how they treat you. So they see me once a month. So next month I went and hello. Next month, let's say this is the month, and then next month we went to another appointment. They went and I was already, I think it was 12 weeks. I think it was 14 weeks, or it was around there, 12 to 14 weeks pregnant. And by that time, I think you do an ultrasound, I don't remember, but you do get to see your baby. But they never gave me that option to see my baby at all. They were like, okay, you can go, you're gaining weight, and then blah blah blah. I was like, okay. So we leave the clinic, and next thing you know, my mom and my husband say, you know what, you need to switch clinics. They're not doing their job. So by the time I call my cousin and I let her know that where she had her kids, do they accept the insurance I have? She said yes. So the next thing I went in person and I was like, I want to do a transfer over here, because they're not doing a job, and I read that y'all specialize in risk of pregnancies and everything. So that's what I did. I did get transferred at 24 weeks. I was 24 weeks when we decided to switch clinics. The first time they seen me was when I was 26 weeks pregnant, and they did find gestational diabetes. So they did the glucose for, I think it was 3 hour, the 3-hour one. It's the nastiest thing ever, but I had to do it. I did that, and they find out I had gestational diabetes, and they actually referred me to another clinic. I was going to their clinic, and I was going to another clinic specialized with gestational diabetes. It was where it was where I was gonna give birth. It was right downstairs. It was convenient. Everything was close by. So yeah, I had gestational diabetes. I had to do a diet. I had to eat vegetables. I'm not good at vegetables. I had a lot in my hands. My baby wasn't gaining weight. And I was losing weight. So they decided they were gonna do some pills to help out with everything, especially with the baby developing and everything. That happened, and then I hit, I think it was 34 weeks. Yeah, I saw my OB. First I went Monday to my gestational diabetes appointment, and they checked out that I had high blood pressure every time I went in. So they were like, we gotta keep an eye on that. So they did. So the next day I had an appointment with my OB. So it was like Monday, Tuesday, every week I had an appointment. Okay, but that time I was in pills. They're called metformin. If I wouldn't control my sugar, they would put me in insulin, but they didn't. Thank God. But on Tuesday, I turned 36 weeks whenever I went to my OB on Tuesday. And they checked my pressure, and it was high. And she was like, we gotta make an induction date. So we decided to do the induction date May 19th. I was gonna be going to the hospital at 7 p.m. in the afternoon. It was a Sunday. She was like, I want to see you again. I want to see you again before your induction date. I was like, oh. So I turned 37 weeks on Monday. Yeah. I had an appointment with my gestational diabetes again and my OB again. Everything was still the same. High blood pressure, everything. So my OB on Tuesday, I went in as a regular checkup. She was like, you know what? You've been having high blood pressure for 2 weeks already. And we got to do the induction date earlier than that. She was like, you already going to be 38 weeks, and that's a full-term baby. So I was like, okay. I did cry because I was like, wow. I had plans that I was gonna have my baby by May 19th, but then they pulled the induction date earlier than that. So it was the 15th. It was a Thursday when they were like, after the appointment, they were like, you need to go to the hospital. You gotta call someone to take everything that you need for the baby and for you. So I called my husband, and I was like, he was at work, and I was like, we're gonna have the baby today, if not tomorrow in the morning. So that happened. My mom did cry also, because she was like, we were expecting the baby to come at her normal due date, but it wasn't possible. By that time I was 2 centimeters dilated, so it's pretty good for a first-time mom. So whenever I got to the hospital, they immediately put me in a room. They started an IV. They started me with some pills that go through your vaginal area. It goes through your vaginal. It's a little small pills, and I think you have to wait every 3 hours, and you have to get like 4 doses to start the induction. But I only needed 1 dose, and my body slowly started to think, okay, we're going into labor. So by 7 o'clock, my husband came to the hospital. I was already set up, and they told me, don't have anything to eat heavy. You have to be, I think it was a liquid diet that I was on. It's horrible. I was starving. So she checked me, I think it was at midnight, and I was already in 4 centimeters. No, it was, yeah, 4 centimeters. And I was in really, really, really bad pain. Especially I felt the pressure in my vaginal area, and my stomach was like pushing down. That's how, it wasn't that bad, but it was like a pain that is like, okay, I can handle it once, but I can't handle it twice. So I decided to get the epidural. So at 1 o'clock a.m. in the morning from the next day, obviously, they called the anesthesia guy, and they did the epidural. The epidural did work fast than I never thought that it would work. It numbed me like real quick. I couldn't move at all. They placed the catheter in, and everything. After that, I didn't feel anything. The pain was gone. Everything was gone. So slowly, they gave me time to rest. They were like, from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. is quiet time for them. So they were like, we're gonna let you rest. If you feel a lot of pressure, just go ahead and push the button. I was like, okay. I did sleep until 6 a.m. when they came in. I did sleep until 6 a.m. and they were like, okay, we're gonna check you for the last. Give me a second. Okay, so by 6 a.m. they did check me. No, it was 6 or 7 a.m. They did it. They did check me out, and I was only in 5 centimeters, so I only progressed 1 centimeter from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. That was horrible. They were like, it is gonna be a long process. It is gonna be a long progress, right? So I was like, oh, I thought I was gonna have this baby in the morning, but no. So by that time, my OB came around 7. She checked me out, and I went 1 centimeter up. So, okay, 1 centimeter. And she was like, you want us to break your water? And I was like, is that gonna make things faster? And she was like, it could be. I was like, go ahead. So she broke my water at 8:20, because she was like, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get everything, and I'll be back. By 8:20, if you hear their noise, it's my baby in her crib, because she's fussing, so that means she's sleepy. Okay, where I was at. Oh, by 8:20, they broke my water. So she was like, I'll be back in 3 hours. I was like, okay, that's good. By 9 or 10 a.m., I was starting to feel pressure, like really bad pressure. Even though I had the epidural, the pressure was bad. So I was pushing the button. I was like, the nurse came in, and I was like, I'm feeling so much pressure. She was like, the epidural at some point will stop working because you've been having it for a very, very long period of time. So she came and she called another nurse, and she was like, we're gonna try to sit you up. So they literally, so the hospital beds are like, let me show you what this. So the hospital beds are like this, as you can know. They literally sat me like this and then pushed me up like that. That way the baby can like lower it faster, because the baby was pretty high up. So they left me like that for about, it was about 2 or 3 hours. Around 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. my OB came back. She checked me, and she was like, you are 8 centimeters. You're 8 centimeters. And I was like, I've been waiting so long for this baby, and it's almost close to meet her. So when I was 8 centimeters, it was like a blink of an eye where they came in. Like, I think it was an hour later. They came in. They were like, you're already 10 centimeters. You want to start pushing? And I was like, yeah, I want to start pushing. I did start pushing at 6 p.m. Around 6 I don't remember the exact minutes, but I know it was 6. So I started pushing. And the nurse that was helping me out, she was really, really, really nice. She was like, go ahead and push. And I was pushing and pushing, nothing yet. So I was pushing for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And those 2 hours and 45 minutes were pretty long. My OB came around an hour of me pushing. She was like, how far is she? And they said the baby's pretty high up, but she's pushing enough for the baby can come out. So she checked me and she was like, okay, you almost there. Start pushing. So you push from 1 to 10 without breathing. But I was pushing for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I was already tired. I couldn't breathe. It was just it wasn't horrible, but it was like I learned my lesson to just like walk more whenever you're pregnant, because that will really work and push your baby down faster. I was in a lot of pain because the epidural stopped working. But I mean, it wasn't a pain, it was like a burning. It was burning in my vaginal area. They say it's called the ring of fire, where your baby comes through. So I don't know. So I was pushing, pushed. The 45 minutes were the longest. And I remember I keep asking my nurses, and I was like, "Is the baby? Can you see the baby's head?" And they were like, "Don't worry about it. Just keep pushing." And I was like, and I was starting. The only thing I was able to do is cry of pain, cry because I was tired, and cry because I couldn't breathe. So they gave me oxygen. It was helping me out. And whenever I wanted to push really, really bad, well, where was I? They were like, "Don't worry about it. Just keep pushing." When I saw my OB getting ready with her suit, with everything that she needed, I was like, okay, the baby has to be there. She was like, I can see the baby's head. You gotta push without hesitating. And I did. The problem when I was pushing is because as contractions go, they will tell you to push. But you can feel like your stomach like pushing down. You can. I could feel my stomach pushing. I could feel my stomach pushing down, and they were like, "No, dude, don't push it, don't push it." I was like, "I need a push." They were like, "You gotta wait until the contraction gets stronger." And I was like, "Okay." I would cry because I wanted to push so bad, and the pain was just. It wasn't horrible. It was just the pain was. It was my first time. The pain was new to me. But I think if I have another kid, I already know how it feels and the experiences that I went through with her. Whatever. I mean, so that happened. And next thing you know, they were like, okay, the baby's head is out. And that's whenever her body just came out. And they put her on top of me. It was the best thing. And I can insert a little clip of how my baby looked when they put it on top of me. It does feel weird whenever they take your baby out, because then your belly goes, it goes all water splashing. It's not everywhere, but you can feel like the water running down, like if you literally just peed on yourself but you didn't. After I had her, they actually let me do skin to skin with her for about, I think it was like for 30 minutes. And they took her because I forgot to mention that whenever she was inside of me, she did poop in herself. I mean, she did poop inside my womb. let's just say that. They did take her away, and they actually, I don't know what they did to her, but the only thing I saw it was that they put a little, I think it was a little tube into her um, mouth to her stomach to empty it out, I guess. I don't know, but I trust the doctors, you know. They weighed her, and she weighed 7 pounds exact and 18 inches and a half. She was a pretty small baby. With that being said, I told my husband to go tell my family that were outside that the baby was born. My husband told me that whenever he came outside, he said, the baby's born. Everybody started jumping, screaming. I mean, my baby had everybody out there. Not everybody, because my grandpas were out of town by the time, but I had a lot of support waiting for my baby to be born. After I got cleaned up, I got stitched up. I did get a 2nd degree tear. I got stitched up and everything. It was the best feeling ever. Whenever all my family came in, it was like, I won't lie, it was like 10 people inside the room fighting for who's gonna carry my baby first and everything. It was the best feeling. I do got memories of that way whenever my baby grows up, I'm like, all these people were right behind the door waiting until you were born. With that being said, I did, after I gave birth, everybody left, as you know, that way they can leave me to rest and everything. All my family left. And the nurse came in before when my family was there, and they were like, you want to get up? And I was like, yeah, just wait until everybody leaves and then I'll get up. So it was like 20 minutes after birth, I got up and I started walking. I did walk, like, I won't lie to you, I did walk through my bed to the door without no help. Imagine, I had the epidural, I had stitched up, and I still walked. The progress of labor may be the bad part, but after labor, everything is worth it. The first night I didn't sleep at all because I was like, wow, I just had a baby. I was shocked. I'm a first-time mom, as you know now, and I was 18 years old when I had her. With that, oh yeah, they actually took me to postpartum room. It was pretty small. It wasn't that small or that big, but it was a decent size. The next day I did have people visit me because obviously she's the baby from the family on both sides. The next, I think it was the 2nd day that I was in the hospital. They were like, you need to stay 3 days. So I was like, okay. I mean, I don't mind. I did get up every hour to go to use the restroom. To have a bowel movement is the worst thing ever too. What else? Oh yeah, I actually requested if I could bathe her, and they were like, yeah, you just gotta walk to the nursery. And I was like, I could do it, I'm just gonna go. So I did walk to the nursery. I did stood up for almost an hour, even though I was in back pain. And the stitches were like really uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but it's uncomfortable. And after that, I did start walking more. I did took showers and everything as a normal. The day we left from the hospital was a Saturday afternoon around 6 p.m. I did leave the hospital. And you won't believe what I did. I forgot to do my outro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If y'all want to hear more about my story, like another video of postpartum and other things that y'all want to know, go ahead and just comment, and then I'll just go ahead and give you a little video. Just don't forget, every woman is different, and don't be scared to do anything that you think you're gonna be fear of. That's my quote for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna go now. Bye.